or they're going to be in the hunt. Hopefully they feel the same about us. That's Alex Cora talking about the Baltimore Orioles and his own team as the Red Sox wrap up a season-opening 7-game road trip. This is where we're going to start tonight on the Baseball Hour. The performance overall, the awakening of Rafael Devers, and for that matter, the middle of the Boston batting order. Bregman homered, Casas homered, Campbell continued to hit everything in sight. And I want to get to Christian Campbell because I did put something up on the web today about what I think has been the most impressive part of his early season performance. Garrett Crochet's performance last night. Whatever you want to talk about among those things that have happened in the last 23 hours or 23 and a half hours, because that game last night started at 6:30, by all means, give me a ring. We'll talk about it. 617-779-0985 is your number on the Baseball Hour. Tonight, it's a half hour. We are done at 6:30 because of Bruins pregame. As you know, we're the home for the Bruins, Celtics, and Patriots. But Bob Beers, Ryan Johnston will take over at that point for the Bruins Canadians, which I need to tell you. I don't need to tell you. You know, we are contractually obligated to have for you here on 98.5. Not to dump on the Bruins, but losses are kind of better than wins right now. I think everyone agrees on that, if you want to get a high draft pick. But anyway, the baseball team in the last couple of days, last day, really, let me just tell you, do not underestimate the importance of these 2 wins in Baltimore. The difference for the Red Sox in coming home 3-4 for the home opener with the team that people are excited about is massive compared to coming home at what could have been, in theory, 1-6. Now, the difference between coming home with a winning record and a losing record is 1 win in Texas. So you got to split a 4-game series in Texas. They lost the final 3. But that aside, and Jim Murray feels this, and I say this only because he's still sitting next to me. He's about to leave the studio. Jimmy Stewart, I think, feels this. There has been more interest and buzz from callers and on the airwaves about the Red Sox in the last, call it, 2 weeks than there has been in the last 2 years combined. We have gotten interest here at the Sports Hub in the Red Sox, and I would say pretty much on every show, the interest level in the Red Sox has escalated recently to that point. I'm eager to see how long it persists. But Jimmy Stewart, would you agree with me on that, generally speaking?
100%. You're right, Tony.
I mean, the interest level in the Red Sox has gone way, way up. And I think it all started with the signing of Bregman. But now, again, the real games have started. Crochet did exactly what a stopper and ace is supposed to do last night, and that was the big one. You gave that guy a $170 million contract for nights like last night. 1-4 on your heels, another right hook and a left uppercut, and you're on your back and you're 1-6. Instead, Crochet came out and went 8. He went 8 innings for the first time since college. And the Red Sox beat the Orioles 3-0 between Crochet and Aroldis Chapman. The Red Sox basically threw 98 at the Orioles all night long. Now, the Orioles are undermanned, but nonetheless, Devers also broke out of his slump. Alex Bregman homered today. Tristan Casas homered today. Christian Campbell continues to rake and look like one of the best players in baseball in the first week of the season. So we'll get to all that. By all means, whatever you want to talk about in the next, let's call it 21 minutes, right up until 6:30. Again, short program tonight. So we'll get to your phone calls right away. We'll take you in order of longest wait. You got that, Murray? Stu? Order of longest wait.
I'm here till 6:30.
Okay, you got that? Not longest order of wait, as we were corrected for last
Fastest
night.
30 minutes in baseball.
Peter in Scottsdale, what do you got?
Tony, that contract with Campbell is absolute robbery. He's going to hate his agent in a couple of years, and I'm going to tell you why.
I agree.
I grew up in Boston, but I've lived out in Arizona for 9 years. Mike Hazen has been doing this with the Diamondbacks for the last couple of years. He got Corbin Carroll for 8 years and won 12. Brandon Pfaadt last week for 5 and 45 or something like that, and he's going to be Zach Gallen's replacement if Gallen leaves. So if the Red Sox continue to do this, lock the young kids up, it's fiscally responsible if you do the right scouting. But Hazen's been doing it, and there's no reason why the Red Sox can't continue to do this with the younger kids. I love this deal.
Okay, you should love this deal. It's unbelievably team-friendly. Even if the kid ends up stinking, which none of us believe, I think at a minimum he's a big leaguer, regular big leaguer. But let's see. But even, let's just say he sucks. It's $8 million a year. The Red Sox can't handle $8 million a year on the luxury tax. But just remember, only certain guys will take this kind of deal. Christian Campbell was a 4th-round pick who rocketed to the big leagues. A year ago at this time, he was an A-ball. Now he's in the big leagues, hitting 6th for a team with playoff aspirations. Okay, so totally different. Tristan Casas turned it down. I'm not sure. Jared Carabas said last night that he's not sure Roman Anthony will take this kind of deal. I doubt Marcelo Meyer would take this kind of deal. And there are a lot of guys who won't. So, but when you can hit on those, it has a massive ramification in your organization because you get a great player for short money. The one thing I will tell you, Christian Campbell is going to hate, as you said, he's going to hate his agent in about 3 years. Hate him like poison. He might even grow resentful of the organization, which is what happened with Nomar Garciaparra, who signed, I don't want to say a similar contract, but similar concept. Jim in Florida on Rafael Devers. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I've been really upset with Devers this season because, listen, right now Devers is 28 years old. When David Ortiz was 28 years old, he had his first, what I consider to be his MVP type of season. He had 40-plus home runs, 120-plus RBIs. And when Devers signed that contract, I said to myself, he needs to have like 2 or 3 seasons like that. And I thought this one might be that season. And, we know what's happened with him, being overweight and Jim, out of shape.
Jim, the one thing I would call, listen, the out of shape thing he has no excuse for. Okay, none. And I know he couldn't hit and do things like that during the offseason because of the shoulders, which, again, I'll accept. That's fine. They told him not to swing a bat. That didn't mean he had to come in looking like he did. And then once they moved him off at third base, he pouted. He didn't get enough at-bats in games, and it showed. The last 2 days, he started to wake up, which, by the way, is proof that, you know what? He didn't get ready in the preseason. His timing was horrible. They've played 7 games. He's hitting 2. Had he gotten into games a week earlier, he'd have been ready to go. Despite the weight. All it took was to play a week more of games. He didn't do it. Had he done it, he'd have been fine. And he would have just eliminated much of the scrutiny that came his way. Sean in Colorado on the Red Sox overall. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, how's it going, Tony? First off, I just wanted to mention I don't think there's a zero impact between the contract extensions that Breslow signed both Crochet and Campbell to and the recent turnaround in the last 2 days. I don't know if that had a positive impact, maybe let the kids inside the locker room breathe. But I also wanted to mention, watching this team, there just seems to be a level of competency and holding down the fort, able to lock it down and change the tides when needed, like Crochet with the 8 innings yesterday, Bregman at third base, and Whitlock back in the bullpen throwing his 97 sinkers.
Hey,
there
Sean,
seems to just be that stopper
Sean,
when we need it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to cut you off. I just was going to ask you, why do you think that is?
I think there was just an intentional there was intent behind it. They actually signed players. They created depth through signing players and pitching, allowing them to move Whitlock back.
Okay,
they went out, they got their ace, and they got their third baseman so they can move that poor defense into the DH role.
Okay, so here's what I would tell you. Talent. And look, I don't want to oversimplify it, okay? But at the end of the day, baseball is a game of individual matchups. That's what it is. It's not like other sports where you say, okay, the second baseman can block for the shortstop while he's making a play, or the catcher can pass it to the right fielder and then get an open at bat. It doesn't. The game's not played that way. It's a bunch of individual jobs that have to work together. So you can tell me there's chemistry on a double play, a hit and run, things like that. At the end of the day, it's pitcher against batter. It's individual talent. Now, in a lot of ways, that makes it simpler and easier to talk about. In other ways, it makes it more boring and, it simplifies the game. But I will tell you that it's talent. And every sport starts there. Talent. That's why you're excited about it. That's why people are optimistic about the team. Because fans understand and identify with talent. They know, which is why anytime a team starts giving you some propaganda and PR, you roll your eyes. Don't feed me the bull crap. I know what I know. You're not good enough. So don't feed me the bull crap. And yet, incredibly, teams still do it, including the Red Sox for the last few years. This team's good enough to make the playoffs. Crochet is legit. Bregman's a legit player. And I'm not telling you Bregman's some kind of superstar. But you add him with the young guys, you get a mix of old and young, and you know what you have? A good team. How good? Let's wait and see. But that's what it is. It's talent. And they have more than they've had in a long time. Back to your calls again. Short edition of the Baseball Hour tonight, but I see a number of you line up. I do want to get to Christian Campbell because I think it's important. We'll begin on Campbell when we come back.
can hit a curveball now, too. I mean, what are you going to throw him next? 104 off the bat. He was out in front, but he's still able to barrel. And with that bat speed, staying back on that slow breaking ball. This is a good one here from Morton. Just leaves the inner half. He's hitting everything right now.
Narvaez, he's just checking boxes. Every day it's something new.
He may want to start adjusting that extension that he just got. Maybe call his agent.
4-1 Red Sox with some power.
Another home run for Christian Campbell today. I'm going to say this quickly. We don't have much time. I did put something up on our website about it, 985thesportshub.com. I think the title is something like something that you should absolutely love about Christian Campbell. And it's not the home runs. He's got 4 doubles in the first 7 games of the year. I think they've all come in the last 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. 4 doubles. He had 2 last night, which I'm going to get to in a minute. They've all been to right field. So the 2 last night both came against Zach Eflin, the pitcher for Baltimore. The first one was a 2-seam fastball that ran to the inner half of the plate. And Campbell basically was still able to, again, a pitch coming in on him, was still able to handle the bat in such a way that he punched the ball in the right field. I say punched. It was a rocket line drive into right field for a double. So you know what Eflin did the next time? He ran the ball the other way. Instead of running it into Campbell, he ran it away from Campbell through a slider, which Campbell hit basically into the same spot for a double. So 2 doubles, 2 completely different pitches, one going one direction, one going the other, and he handled them both. The kid can cover the whole plate. And if you watch, the thing that was apparent from the beginning, watch where he stands in the batter's box. He's right in the middle. He's not up on the plate. He's not way off. So it gives him the room to handle inside pitches. And he has the extension, he's tall, to handle the outside part of the plate. And he lays off pitches that are outside the strike zone. I want to see how people get him out. I would throw really hard inside. The double that he hit off of Eflin on the first time up, on the ball that moved toward him, I think needs to be farther inside. But if you do that, you might be getting off the plate. Campbell might not swing at it. I'd rather walk him. And that kind of pitch, by the way, was a breaking ball. He swung at that pitch in game 1, opening day, but he was nervous. He got tied up and he struck out on it. Now, I would tell you, he already looks like a different player than he did on opening day. He did on day 2, frankly. But, boy, he can cover a lot of the plate. He can hit a lot of different pitches. He is fun to watch, and you should enjoy him. My prediction, he will get the biggest ovation on opening day. I think the roar for Christian Campbell is going to be ear-piercing. Nick and Quincy on the Torpedo Bats. Quickly, Nick.
Hey, Tony, I'll be quick. I think you're the most handsome guy in Quincy, by the way, also. And the Torpedo Bats are Yankee propaganda. What is the difference from the Torpedo Bats versus Sammy Sosa corking his bat? Explain that to me, please. Thanks.
Okay, so the bat's not corked and the bat's legal. That's the difference. The Yankees ran it by MLB. Lots of teams are using it. Basically, the bat's constructed in a different way. So it's very different. The wood doesn't hit the ball with the same difference that a cork bat did. The ball doesn't bounce off the bat the way it did with cork. It's just a redistribution of the wood in the bat. That's the way you got to think of it. The sweet spot is moved. They do it with golf clubs all the time. Sean in Marlboro. Sean, go ahead.
Hey, Naz. So winning's nice. Winning's going to bring the Pink Hats back, but I think buzz is because it's a watchable product. The players don't. It doesn't feel like they're playing for money. It feels like they're playing because they're playing the game. The rules. I think the rule changes. I don't want to watch a 4 or 5 hour game every night. It's a 3 hour game.
Okay, Sean, let me stop you, though. The rules were the same last year. The rules haven't changed from last year, and you didn't watch then. So I don't think it's the rules. I think it's the talent. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Yeah, add the players to that though. Like the whole equation. Like the players are just more watchable. They're not divas on this team. That's what makes it watchable.
Okay, so I understand your point. It's the combination of the two. In other words, if they had the talent but the rules sucked, you'd still be turned off a little bit. I got you. I'm just telling you that it's not just the rules. The bigger thing is the talent. And the diva thing, I'd wait on that. I think Tristan Casas is a diva. Rafael Devers came into camp out of shape. And that's diva behavior. Now, other diva behavior, I don't know. Tanner Houck doesn't look like he's in great shape to me either. I'm not saying it's awful, but I don't think he's in great shape. Who was the one I said the other day, Jimmy, that I didn't think? Oh, I didn't think Bregman was in great shape when he came into camp. And I'm not telling you it's awful shape. I'm just telling you there are guys you look at and say, that guy's in great shape. Christian Campbell's a kid, but he's lean. He's in good shape. Abreu's in much better shape than he was a year ago. Some guys aren't. Casas, to his credit, is in good shape. He's been in good shape for a couple of years for a guy his size. Chris in Worcester. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, how you doing, Tony? I was just saying, I just want to do like a clap for Breslow. I think two great signings, with Crochet and Campbell. But I was wondering, you were talking about the hitting. I'm sorry, I haven't watched a lot of games. I'm sorry, I work too much. But how's his defense? Just wondering if you could tell me about that.
Yeah, so far on Campbell, I would say it's been fine. It's been pretty good. It's been okay.
Acceptable.
Yeah, would I call him an elite defender based on what I've seen right now? My answer is no, but he doesn't have a lot of experience. Does he have the ability to become an elite defender in terms of athleticism? My answer is yes. But again, some guys never take to it. So there were lots of guys who are athletic that are not good defensive players. So some of that is instinct. We'll see. What was the first thing? The contracts. I'll just say quickly, the Crochet contract is about ownership. The second one to me is more about Campbell, who's going to regret the deal. And I still wonder whether Theo Epstein is behind the scenes offering guidance on how to do these deals. Think about it. Craig Breslow had never been a GM. All of a sudden, he's negotiating these unique contracts. He had to go to somebody for advice. My guess is it was Theo. Alex in Connecticut. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Tony. Just want to quick get your opinion. I'm really worried still about all these strikeouts. Too many strikeouts, in my opinion. What do you think?
I agree. Too many strikeouts is right. Jimmy, can we squeeze in Steve in Andover?
If you can do it in 15 seconds.
Okay, Steve, real fast. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. Tony, going back to spring training and before that, where was Campbell rated compared to Maya and Anthony? Can you let me know that one, please? Yeah. Thank you.
They're all in the same neck of the woods. Meyer was the highest drafted. Anthony was the highest rated, prospect in baseball until Roki Sasaki went to the Dodgers. And Campbell I think Campbell was still in the top 20, though. I'd have to look it up, but they're all top 20 prospects. Let's call it that. I'll look it up and have a specific answer for you tomorrow. Bruins next against the Canadiens. Pre-game, Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers. Thank you for joining. We'll catch you next time.